Welcome to the Life of KG, your ultimate destination for all things motivation and business insights. Join me, Katie Godfrey, serial entrepreneur and the brains behind the KG brand. Along the way, we'll welcome inspiring guests and share invaluable business tips to fuel your growth journey. Don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button and leave us a review. With that said, let's dive into the world of success together. I want to introduce you to a brand that I'm working with called Dizzo. They offer dissolvable supplement strips, which means the vitamins are absorbed 4 times more than tablets and capsules. So these are perfect if you want quicker results or maybe you can't take tablets. You guys know that I only work with brands I love. So I am personally using their B12 strips and their energy strips. As a business owner, I get tired. So I kind of need that boost every day. And these are definitely helping with my energy levels. I'm also taking their multivitamin strips, which taste lovely. Go and check out their website in the show notes. Go and order yours and let me know what you think. Hey everyone, welcome back to A Life of KG. Today on the show I have Abbie and I'm so excited to get her on because I've been desperate for her to share her story. It's super motivational, it's also quite emotional, so grab the tissues, but I've always said she is my secret success story. So I can't wait for you guys to listen to this episode. It's a really good one. So without further ado, here is Abbie. Hi, Abbie. Welcome to the Life of KG. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Excited to have you on and share your story. So can you give everyone a little intro on who you are and what you do?
Okay. So I'm Abbie. I'm predominantly a salon owner, but I mainly am a nail artist. When people ask me that, I'm like, what am I? Am I a salon owner? Well, I wear loads of different hats, but salon owner and nail artist.
Amazing. And what's your salon called?
Aura London.
Perfect. And I always remember that, like when people used to ask me, what do I do? I always used to be like, like, I think I'm a beautician. I think I'm a salon owner. I couldn't really ever put into words what I was. It was really annoying. But now I'm like, no, I'm a salon owner and own it.
Yeah. It's really difficult. I think I'm getting used to it. Like even on the phone, if someone asks me, "Oh, what position are you in the company?" I'm like, owner. I don't know. I never really know what to say, but I think I need to get more comfortable with that.
Yeah, definitely. So I always like to start with a little bit of background. So let's go with like your childhood. What was your background like there and your like family dynamic?
Childhood was not the greatest. My parents were really, really young when they had me. So I think they were still trying to finish growing up and bring me up too. So I was born in Newham. I grew up like Forest Gate, Stratford kind of area, between that, like there and my nan's house. And yeah, it wasn't the greatest, if I'm being honest, but I think it's really shaped me in being who I am today, and I don't think I would have it any other way, really.
How old was your parents when they had you?
My mum was 17 and my dad had just turned 18, so they were both like 17, really. Yeah, 17, 18.
Yeah, so they were babies themselves.
Literally, yeah, they were.
And what kind of like childhood memories do you have? Like, is there anything at all that kind of sticks out of anything that in particular that happened?
I have few good memories. Let's put it that way. So like the good ones are, things that probably would happen every day for other people. So like my dad actually having a conversation with me, like laughing with me, but it was only ever really to do with like what he wanted to do. So like it was football or music. That's kind of what we really related on. And that's where I felt I got the most love and attention from him, was when we were either watching football together or when we found similar interests in music. So that really were the kind of good memories, you know, when he was in a good mood, which wasn't often, but yeah. But there are memories that have stuck with me that are, well, when I've got older, that I've realised are actually quite like horrific, to be fair. So like one example, I could do something like really, really small, like it, you know, and like any kid, you know, and I would be kind of put in my room with the threat that I was gonna get it, and I'd have to kind of wait in this room for him to come in and hit me with a belt or whatever. God, I didn't really want to get emotional.
You're right. You're right. You know, this will relate to so many people out there.
And the whole time it was more so, I just want him to come in and get it over and done with. Just come in, do what you've got to do, hit me, whatever, and leave. But I think it was more the mental torture of it that actually really affected me. Yeah, so I just felt really unloved, not good enough. And when you're children, you relate it to you. You think it's you. You think it's your fault. I always thought that it was my fault. You know, I didn't do something right. So then I was always trying to do everything right. Do you know what I mean? Trying to please everyone, making sure that I was doing everything. So then I didn't kick anyone off or I didn't upset anyone. So I didn't get hit or locked in my room for the whole day and stuff like that. And there was one instance where my dad didn't speak to me for 6 months. He wouldn't even acknowledge me, like no acknowledgement of me whatsoever. It was as if I didn't exist. And I think for like a 13-year-old girl, that was, it was awful. I wanted to leave at that point. I did, but I was always really, when they used to like lock me in the house and stuff like that in that 6-month period, I wasn't allowed out. I couldn't get out. We lived in a flat. So they would lock me in the house. I wasn't good enough to go out with them. I wasn't worthy enough of being within the family. And I remember there was one time I wanted to leave. And I couldn't. I got downstairs and we lived in a block of flats. I got to that main door. I couldn't leave because I thought, if I go, they're just going to bring me back here and he's going to beat shit out of me. I can't go. That was what they always told me, you know, if you go and tell anyone, or if anyone ever finds out, they're going to take you away from us. And, you know, I never kind of merged the two together, that actually what was going on was wrong. I should have been taken away from them. But I could never work it out for myself. And the area that I grew up in, it was quite common, like, for people to get hit. Do you know what I mean? For their parents to hit them and stuff like that. So I just thought that it was normal, but I think mine entered another level of it was quite abusive. So yeah. But I think when obviously I have to re-talk about it and stuff, of course, it's still going to upset me, because there's so much that went on as a child. But I know that's made me very strong today, and I don't think I would have it any other way. I think you always have the wish of I like, you know, when I see people with their dads and stuff like that, and their mums, like both, but like, you know, when their dad's helping them and stuff like that. Like, I still get emotional now. I'm having the salon redone, and then I get upset because I just think, well, you know, most girls would have their dads, or, you know, like helping them and stuff like that, and I don't have that. So I think I'm getting there, though. I think I have accepted it. I just think when I have to kind of go back and relive it and talk about it, that it still gets me a bit. It's a deep one.
Yeah, of course. And what about your mum? Is she around? Do you have a relationship with her?
No. So I don't have a relationship with either. My mum is quite a complex one. With her, I think with my dad, it's always been very easy. You know, he was physically abusive, so it makes more sense that, okay, I'm going to distance myself from him. But in a weird way, I think my dad was kind of the only one that he did in late, I don't have a relationship with now, but he did when I was about 24. He did come to me and say, I'm so sorry for the way that I treated you. I know that it was wrong. I'm so sorry. So he is the only one that has like apologized for his behavior, but we still don't have a relationship now because they're just things that we just don't agree on. And I just think it's best that way. But with my mum, it was weird because she was present for all of this happening, and she did nothing to protect me. For the kind of reasons that I've been told, I don't really see it, so I'm not really agreeing. But I think the turning point with my mum was having my eldest daughter, because for me, in my brain, boys were always good enough, you know, boys were always accepted, you know, boys were always okay, like they can't really do anything wrong. But with girls, I was always worried about having a girl, because I thought, am I going to be like my mum? Am I going to be like her? I don't want to be like her, like, at all. And when I found out that I was having my eldest daughter, I was so excited, a bit worried at the same time. Obviously, knowing myself that I wouldn't be like that, but you still have that worry. And I remember when I delivered her and I was holding her, that was it. It was the turning point for me, because I was like, nah, there is no way that anyone is going to tell me girls are not important anymore. I'm not telling myself that girls are not important anymore. I'm not telling myself that women are not important anymore. I'm now a mother to a daughter, and how could you not want to protect, love, like, big her up? Like, I do it to her now. Like, when she wants to put makeup on and stuff like that, I let her be free in like finding herself as a young girl, and I love it. I don't. But I think the difference between me and my mum, I think my mum in some weird way saw me as competition, and I think that's where the love wasn't kind of matching the mother and daughter thing. I don't think she had a great upbringing herself, in all fairness to her. Like, I don't want to come across as oh my God, I'm bad mouthing my parents. I completely like get that they had awful upbringings. They didn't have great upbringings either. And I can really empathise with that. But we all have choices in life, and you make that choice of whether you want to behave like that again or not. And when having Avery, I made that choice for her, and I also made it for myself. I made it for that I wasn't going to talk to myself in that way anymore. I wasn't going to say to myself that I wasn't important anymore. I wasn't going to say that, like, women are lower than men. You know, men get their needs met first, women get their needs met after. I wasn't doing that anymore. Like, Avery, my eldest, she changed that. Like, literally, she changed my life, really. She really did. So that's when I decided to pull away from the relationship with my mum, because I felt that it was all about her getting her needs met from me and her not treating me as a daughter. And I don't feel the love there. It wasn't benefiting. It wasn't benefiting me or my children anymore. And that's something that I really want to highlight. Wasn't really about my relationship with my mum. It was about how is that relationship going to impact my children. And there is no way that I'm allowing any stuff that's from my childhood to go onto my children, whether that's from me or from a grandparent. So that's why I decided to pull away.
Which I think is an incredible thing that you've done, because you hear so many people that wish they could cut off certain people in their life. I mean, we've all heard the saying of you are who you hang around with, or the first five people you hang around with you're more like. And lots of people saying that, like, well, I've got this family member or my mum or my dad or an uncle or whoever that might be, and they'll be like, I can't cut them off. I have to still be in their lives because they're family, because they're blood.
Yeah.
But actually, it takes such strength to be able to do that, to then realise, no, you are better off without that person in your life, and especially when children and stuff are involved as well. So a massive hats off for that, because it's so easy to just stay and just think, well, this is my life, this is how this person treats me, so I'll just carry on.
Yeah, and I think so many people do that because they think that, oh, you know, their family, blood's thicker than water and all of that stuff. And it's not true. Family are there because they kind of have to be there. You're related. Whereas like your friends, I found my family through my friends. Like your friends are choosing to be there. You're choosing to have a relationship with them. You know, those bonds that you can have outside of your family circle can actually be stronger than the family ones. For some people, not for all.
Yeah. Well, I thank you for sharing that, Abbie. I know that we wanted to touch on this subject, and I kind of wanted you to share what you could, because I think it's just really important for people to realise that those that have these successful businesses or look at us on Instagram and think, oh, they've got this or they're doing that, that a lot of the time there's a story behind it, and people have had to have these struggles, and you're the perfect person for that, because you've grown up in such a difficult way but yet been super successful on what you do, and I'm so proud of you. God, I'm getting emotional now. So yeah, I just want to thank you for sharing that, and you've done absolutely like amazing on your journey. Is there anyone that you've been around in your family or in your life that does have that entrepreneurial spirit? Like, where does that come from for you?
Yeah, so I thought about this, you know, because I didn't really. I was asked this the other day by my therapist, like, where does that kind of drive come from? And I was sitting there thinking, like, oh, what is it? So on my dad's side, my granddad had his own building company, did really, really well. They moved like back and forth to Australia and stuff like that. And they always had, you know, like a nice car, big house, blah, 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 blah. But they weren't too present because they were back and forth to Australia. They kind of emigrated to Australia for like 5 years, then they'll move back. And then they'll do the same again. So they were like back and forth every 5 years or so between Australia and here. So I think I saw it with him a bit, like a tiny bit, but I think it's come from, so all the, like, on my nan on my mum's side, she's always been quite like hardworking. Everyone, throughout all their faults, everyone has been very, very hardworking. So my mum's been quite hardworking, like she was always working. Same with my dad to a certain degree. And my nan was like that too, always kind of. My nan was like a single mum of 8 children, and she always worked. So it's kind of been instilled in me that you've got to work. Do you know what I mean? If you want something, then you've got to work. So I think probably that is where it came from. really. The just kind of more the work ethic rather than the entrepreneurial stuff.
How would you say that you've then learned how to build up a business and kind of think, okay, well, I want my own salon, I want my own things, like, because obviously you can be a hard worker, but that entrepreneurial spirit is something else. I always think, oh, are you born with it, or are you learn it, or is it a bit of both? Like, what do you think in that kind of sense?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think some people are just born with it. I really do, because I can't really think of like anything that's really kind of ticked, like what person has really, inspired me in that kind of way. But I think I've always been inspired by stronger women, and usually those stronger women do have their own businesses, are entrepreneurs and stuff like that. So I think I've always like growing up and stuff like that, I think I've always looked at more so who's the stronger woman in the room, who actually is the more the woman with that kind of masculine energy. Because I think to a certain degree, when you're a woman in business, you do have to have some degree of masculine energy to hold yourself. You can't be like completely feminine. So I think I would always kind of look up to women that were like, women feminine within their own right, but had that masculine energy when it came to maybe their like intelligence, the way that they spoke and stuff like that. It's quite strong. So yeah, I do think that you've naturally got it, or you don't. Some people just don't. Some people are just okay, like just working for like, doing a career and stuff like that, and that's absolutely fine. And in a way, I wish I was like that because it would be less stress. I wish I was more like happy with just getting a career, getting my salary, because I wouldn't be laying here overnight thinking about flooring. That is like the reality of being a business owner. You lay in bed at night and think, are those tiles right? Has that been done? Have I ordered that? Like it doesn't stop. So I think you have to be born with that kind of mentality of a little bit nuts, to be fair, to be able to do this, because it doesn't stop, and it's not easy, and it's a lot harder than just, I think, having a career and having like a salary. I think it's a lot harder.
I often say that. I always think, I wonder what it would be like to just be able to come home at night, switch off, not have no stress, and then just start your day again the next day. I don't know what that's like at all. And sometimes I do think, oh, I wonder. It is funny. And I also relate to when you say about like masculine energy and stuff. When I've had therapy over the years, I've always been told that I have this real masculine side because of obviously being in business and all the shit you've really got to take when you are growing a business. But it's also having that masculine side affected my relationships and my personal life, because you are always of the man.
Yep, 100%. I completely agree with that. There is downfalls in having, like, I think people would look at us and think, we've got it all and whatever. But there are downfalls to being strong, and relationships and all sorts. They take a hit, definitely, because I think it's a lot to handle.
Yeah, it really is. Let's go to your passion. So obviously nails is like your ultimate thing. How did your nail journey start, and then go into launching your own salon?
Yeah, so when I left school, I completely just wanted to get out of the area. Like, I didn't want to be in Manor Park or like anywhere near that. I kind of didn't. I wanted to start afresh. So I decided, it was actually a careers advisor actually that told me about a college in London called London College of Beauty Therapy. And at the time it was in like a building. It was like a mansion. It was stunning. Like, it was beautiful. So I remember going for the open day and I was like, oh my gosh, yes, this is where I need to be. Like, I need to be in these kind of areas, in these kind of spaces. So I went there. I done my level 2 and 3 beauty. And then from there I very easily got jobs because at the time they had, I think they probably still do, obviously I don't go there anymore, but they have really good career links and stuff. So I ended up getting like really good jobs like in Knightsbridge and stuff like that. So I got really, really good experience. And then it was 2010? I just had Jay. And that's when gel polish was coming around and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, that is so amazing. And that was really it for me. I started doing gel polish and I was like, I actually love this. I love it. And then when I was 21, I went and did a nail technician course. That was like in a local college that I did that. And bless my nan, she would come round and look after Jay for me so I could go and do the course and stuff like that. So I am grateful. I'm grateful to my nan for that little time that she gave me of where she was helping me out with Jay and stuff, so I could I'd go and do that. And then that was it. Like, from there I was all in nails. I would practice on myself all the time. I would read up. I was only working part-time at the time because I was at home with Jay. But I would read up on it all the time, be on like Salon Geek, researching stuff, practicing of an evening, like doing anyone that would let me do it on them. And that's it really. I then loads of stuff happened kind of in life. I had another child, decided, do you know what, I can't work like this anymore, like the balancing shifts and all of that stuff. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna start at home. I'm gonna start doing like nails and beauty and stuff at home, because I still did beauty and stuff. So this was 2015, literally 6 months, not even that, 6 months after going self-employed, my relationship completely broke down. I was literally facing a divorce, being a single mum to 2 kids, being self-employed. Like, what the hell am I going to do? But I just kept going. I had a really good routine with the boys. So I would like start bathing them at like 5:45, bath them, do story time, all of that stuff, put them to bed. So they were in bed by 7, so I could start working, and then I'd work till 10. So that was kind of my routine in the beginning. Then I literally stayed like that. Lockdown happened, and I built a cabin in my back garden, like loads of people were. So I built this little cabin, was really proud of it. Was like, oh, I love this, like it's my own little space. And then after lockdown, there was a really massive difference in the way people wanted to have treatments. So it went from people were happy just to go to a nail salon and sit there and wait. Do you know what I mean? An hour or whatever they were waiting. Didn't really care about the hygiene, didn't really care about products, etc., etc. COVID really changed how people then were looking at stuff. They were then looking about, oh, hold on a minute, is that clean? Hold on a minute, I'm sitting in here for an hour waiting around with all these people. I don't want to do that anymore. I want an appointment. So then I ended up getting really busy, like really, really busy. And then I would kind of always look at commercial units anyway. So I would, just have a little browse. What businesses are for sale? What commercial units? That I've kind of always looked, but never had the balls to do it. Or should I say like ovaries to do it, not balls. And I went to a good friend and I was like to her, I really want this commercial unit. And she was like, like call them, whatever. So I called them, they're like, oh, it's been taken. I was like, oh, she was like, wait, but I know someone I can put you in contact with, blah, 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 blah. So I've gone down and seen this salon, and I'm like, oh, wow, this is nicer. It was all completely like revamped. It was like a building that was like derelict, and people had gone in and like just gutted it. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And that literally, that was it. It was literally I honestly believe everything comes when it's meant to come. The universe brings you whatever you need, and it literally just landed like that. And I was then transferring over my whole savings just for the lease of this building. I was like, I had to close my eyes and press the button to transfer that money, because I was like, that is my whole life savings. It's gone, like at a click of a button. But I'm telling you, that is the best button that I've ever clicked. Like, I would click that a million times over. But it was just having the courage to do it and not being scared to do it. And I think fear holds people back so much, because they're always worried about, oh, what's this person going to think? Or what if this happens? You know what? Worst case scenario, you lose it all. Okay, you start again. Really, it's not that scary. It's not really, if you've really got the passion for it. So now that's it. And then I went from being in that little shop on my own. I've still got clients, bless them. Like, honestly, I have got the loveliest clientele. Like, the whole salon, we've got such a lovely clientele. And I've got clients that kind of remember from the beginning of when I was setting up, and they're like, I remember when you were sitting here on your own, and now look at you, you've got all these girls here. And I'm like, I know, it's like weird. It's so weird. So I went from opening the end of 2021 just with myself. I hired my first girl in February 22, and then that's it. I literally then hired all along, and I now have myself, 4 other girls. So there's 5 of us in total that do nails. I have a hairdresser, and I have a little Saturday girl.
You've done amazing. And I remember we must have done a power hour when you just took that lease on. And I was like, right, okay, employ someone, and we put some steps in place. And then obviously July last year, he was like, okay, I'm going to join the mastermind. And I remember in our one-to-one call that you get on the mastermind, I was like, Abbie, you've literally gone from that power hour and everything we said in that, and it was just you, to literally my secret success story, the person that like doesn't shout about any of your success whatsoever. And I literally couldn't believe how far you've come in this journey. What obviously you've grown this team, you've grown this salon. What other things would you say has come from that first power hour to now come into the end of this mastermind?
I think definitely the you know, how you are when it comes to employment, self-employment, and how you really want to structure your business. That really gave me the foundation to really build on, because it's always scary. It's scary doing anything, and it's really easy to take the safe option, but sometimes that safe option isn't the best option. So really, I think from that power throughout the mastermind, it's always probably more so doing the uncomfortable things to really grow your business, putting things in place, like, you know, especially like with like emails and like email marketing and all of that kind of stuff. Like, all of that I learned from you. I didn't really have a clue, to be fair. Not a clue. I think there's things that like I'm really naturally good at, but I think you've really topped up that kind of all those bits that were missing, that I wasn't like really great. Look, I'm good at nails, you know, and I think I'm good at having like ideas. I think that ideas are really good, but I think you kind of give the structure.
And what would you say when it comes to, if you don't mind sharing, you don't have to go into figures or anything, but from you working on your own to now having a team of employed staff, is there a difference in turnovers, your money yourself? Because I think what a lot of people find is, I'm busy, I'm making all the money in the salon. If I then hire someone, my money is then going to be taken up on salaries, and then I'm not bringing any money in, and different things like that people have battles on when it comes to taking on staff and thinking that they're then going to not have anything at the end of it. What has that been like for you?
Yeah. So it's a mindset thing. So I think at the beginning, I was a bit like, oh my God, I'm just going to be paying someone, and what if they don't get clients? And what if, and what, blah, 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 all the time. The way that I see it is that most of the time when you employ someone, they're at least going to make their salary. If they can at least make their salary, then you've got to build on. Everyone that I've employed have at least made their salary in their first month. At least. It's always been over, but they've at least made that. So if that's the starting point, then all you can do is grow and make more of a stable job for someone else, and then also be able to grow your business and really kind of and scale it as well, I found that without having that kind of people employed and stuff like that, that scalability isn't there. Do you know what I mean? You need a team of people to be able to scale. And in terms of money and stuff like that, I don't really see like what money I make in the salon goes. I see it as that we're all a team. I'm making money, they're making money, we all get our kind of salaries from it and stuff like that. I think when you when you're seeing things as, oh well, I'm turning over this amount and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, you're not going to grow, because you're just seeing yourself as one. Where if you're seeing it as we are collectively making all of this together, obviously, watching people's individual targets and stuff like that and what people are individually making, but when you see it more like that, I feel like it's easier to grow, it's easier to employ, it's easier to scale, it's easier to open up other salons, offer other services, etc., because you've got that financially. So I've gone from turning over in 21, oh my God, I wasn't making a lot. It was just me, so it was like a few thousand a month. It weren't a lot, and obviously I had the shop rent to pay out for and whatever, so I weren't making nothing basically. To now my company is in the 6-figure range.
I celebrate you. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Like your whole journey, like I just love it. It gives me shivers. What would you say has been the hardest part of having a business?
I think the fact that you don't stop thinking about it. It can be, I have learned better like techniques to be able to switch off better. So on a Sunday, I switch off. So I don't open my laptop. I don't do anything to do with work. I don't even think I post on Instagram. Like I don't post on Sundays really. Maybe I do like of an evening, but I don't do anything really work related. It's just so I can have that one day. But yeah, I'm not joking. I'm having the salon redone. And I'm having dreams that the floor is a disaster. Like I can't sleep properly because is the flooring going right? Because the builders came in and they've turned off the cameras. They've turned off the internet. So I can't see what's going on. So I was thinking, oh my God. I saw them ripping up the floor and then the cameras went off and I was like, I don't know what's happening. And I was dreaming about, oh right, what if it's not done on time? What if he hasn't laid the tiles in the right direction? Literally, that type of stuff is going on in my brain, not being able to sleep 3 o'clock in the bloody morning. So that kind of really is the downside. And also, actually, I am going to touch on this. You lose people when you start growing as a person or in business. I think you lose people. It's very lonely here. It's not it's not all this, oh, I've got all these people around me and blah 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 blah. No, you lose people. You do. I don't have that many people anymore, because you grow, your priorities change, you're focusing on your business, your time is limited. I also have 4 children, so my time is taken up with them. I want to spend time with them when I'm not working. So you naturally lose people. So I think that's probably been a hard one as well, is that, you know, that kind of saying where it's lonely at the top and all of that stuff is bloody true. It's so true, because it can get really lonely. It gets really lonely sometimes, because you know, you're the owner, you're the boss. Do you know what I mean? And I think I went out for like a birthday dinner with my girls. It was really sweet. They organised this birthday dinner for me. It was so lovely, like really, really sweet. I love the girls to bits. And we went out for dinner, and I was like, yeah, we're just gonna have a few drinks and eat or whatever. And one of my girls was like, yeah, this is my boss. And I was like, oh, like, can today I just not be your boss? Like, can today we just be, you know? And I think you're always seen as that, like you're always seen as the boss and blah blah. And it can get really lonely, but I think that's where being really comfortable within yourself comes in, because when you're comfortable within yourself, you're kind of all right being alone.
I think that was one of the biggest things I struggled with when I opened my salon. Like, I had this huge circle of friends, we was out all the time, like, and then people weren't coming to support me. They were maybe going to other salons rather than mine, and I couldn't figure it out. And then as you grow even more, like, you lose more and more people. I really, really struggled with that. And like you say, the saying, like, it's lonely at the top. I think until you're in the position, you don't realise at all, which is why I think communities and stuff is so important, or having that person to lean on in business that you can just let everything out to, because otherwise who can you do it to? And you do still need to talk, because we're all human and communication is key, right? So we do always have to talk to someone about stuff that's going on and have people that understand, and it's really difficult.
Yeah, it is.
You're really good at content, and you also have millions of views on your post. Another top secret that you keep stum. What tips would you give
most of the time I
to
don't even
know? What tips would you give to those to go viral or be seen when it comes to their content?
Right. Okay, so this is something that I started like just like mid-December. I was like, right, I'm getting on this content thing. I need to be more consistent with this. I need to, like, because you would know that, like, my salon's doing really well, and I wanted to now start kind of growing my name within the industry, because, like you said earlier, I don't shout enough about kind of what I do and all of that stuff, and I need to get more comfortable with that. I think that a lot of that's upbringing and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't. There was this saying that used to go around. A lot of people probably won't understand it, but I'm going to say it anyway. But it was like, don't be a beg. So, like, don't beg it. Don't put yourself out there and tell people what you are. Don't be a beg. Like, it's not a good thing to do that. And me and my friend had a conversation about this, and we said that, can you imagine if we wasn't doing that, like how good we'd be doing? Like, we would have got on this Instagram thing, we would have done this, we would have done that, blah 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 blah. Because really it started kind of our age group, like mine and yours, okay? So but it was a mindset thing, do you know what I mean? Like, why would you like follow people that you don't know, like, and all of this stuff? So anyway, I decided that I don't care about not being a beg. I don't care what people think. So end of mid-December, I got really, really consistent with content. So it's what everyone says, consistency, literally finding that kind of key time with when people are on Instagram. So a lot of the time it is either in the morning. I'm not on Instagram in the morning because I've got kids, I've got too much to do. But the time that I am on social media, if I ask myself the question, is I'm on social media from about 7 up until maybe 10. That kind of time frame. So it's really about kind of getting your time frame right. If I posted something and it was, say, at lunchtime, it wouldn't do well. It doesn't do well because I don't think my followers or whatever, it doesn't really get a lot of reach. So I started creating like kind of just little snippets of me doing clients, basically. So I just get my phone. It's literally my phone. People don't believe that it's my phone. It's literally my phone. I have a Pro whatever iPhone. So I set that up, good lighting, feel myself doing clients and stuff. Sometimes I find the ones that kind of, I think there's like categories, so sometimes people want to see you mess up. People like watching that kind of stuff. People like seeing really satisfying stuff. People want to know how you do stuff, so it's kind of trying to hit those kind of categories throughout your content. One that I struggle with is funny, because I just feel like trying to be funny with nails, it's sometimes hard because not everyone has the same humor. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of knocked that one out, but I know there's other people out there that are really good at it and it makes me laugh. So please carry on with doing that content because I'm not brave enough to do that. But so I'll just film myself. I'll just edit it up. I think short and sweet is probably the best way. And having something actually that adds value. So something on the post that are going to get people to engage. And that's literally it. It was literally consistency, putting something in there that's going to get people to engage. And yeah, within, what month are we in now? We're in May. So yeah, it's from, how many months is that? 6? Just under 6 months. I've doubled my following.
6 months.
Yeah.
Are you posting every day but Sunday then? Like how often are you posting?
No, so I don't post every day. So I also kind of keep a listening to what Instagram wants. It's really annoying, but you kind of do have to listen. So they weren't looking, the algorithm changed again, and I don't think they wanted people. So it was about posting like every single day. I think it's about posting about 4 times a week with good content. Yeah, and if you go over that and post more, then great. But I think what the algorithm was preferring is actual valued, like high quality content over the amount of content. So I post, say, about 4 times, about 4 times a week. I mainly get good reach on my reels. My posts, I don't get that, but my reels do so well. Like I think I'm at a let me check. I think I'm in the last 30 days, I'm at like a 2.3 million reach. Let me have a look. I can double check. Oh, it's not showing me now. But I think I'm at like a 2.3 million reach in the last 30 days. And most of that is from Instagram.
Wow. So your videos though are like really, really good. Like they literally do like professionally filmed, and like you said, you're just using your phone. Are you using a stand or anything like that?
So I've literally got this stand from Amazon. It's like a one of those like light lamps, those those kind of traditional table lamps. It's that kind of arm without the table lamp on the top. So then basically you can, when it's kind of in the thing, I can move it there, there. But I started off with literally a normal phone stand with where the phone was kind of standing just like that on my work. And that is kind of where, for the most part, I kind of have it kind of just at that angle. So not like that or anything like that. It's literally on that thing, just facing inwards. So yeah, not like nothing. I don't have, like when you see like YouTubers and stuff like that, like that, like the ones that have been going for years, and they have this massive camera setup and all of that kind of stuff. I don't have the space nor the time for that, and most people don't either. So no, literally everything is just done on my phone and through literally a phone clip stand thing from Amazon.
That's so good. So good. Well, I urge everyone to go and look at Abbie's Instagram because it is so good, and you'll be able to get some really good hints and tips on her angles and how she videos her work. So definitely go and check that out. Abbie, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on today. I really appreciate you sharing all of your story and letting us know the insights of your business. I know you're going to be a huge inspiration to many, many people. So thank you so much for coming on. And what is your Instagram so everyone can go and check it out?
Yeah. So my kind of personal now Instagram is Abbie Now Artist, and my salon is Aure London.
Perfect. Amazing. Thank you so much. Everyone go and give Abbie a follow. If you like this episode, if it motivated you, then please give it a screenshot and tag us both in so we can reshare it and reach as many people as possible. But thank you so much, Abbie. I love you loads.
Thanks, Kate. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
I want to give a shout out to Sky Premium Life products. Now, you will know from last year that I was testing all of their supplements and I absolutely love them. They were a sponsor on this podcast last year and they also are this year. I have tried all of their supplements, from collagen to their hair tablets to they've got focus tablets, anything that you need help on with your body system functioning, whatever that is, they have help. And I just love them all. I would highly, highly recommend them. We also started selling it within our business, making extra money in the salon with retailing the products. And because they're extremely reasonably priced, clients are loving them. Lots of my clients were also using them and they're selling them in their businesses too. So if you want to grab a discount, you get 15% off their products. The link is in the show notes. If you want to sell it within your business, reach out and I'll tell you exactly how to do that, or you can just message them directly. But I highly, highly recommend you take these for your own well-being. And I also recommend, if you have a business, that you're selling it within that too.